Deidre's going to be here for you a little bit later on. Martin is here for you right now. Morning, Martin.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good to see you. I know you've got your show this evening. What are you focusing on?
It's a big one. This is the week that the credit card bills and other debt bills from Christmas are flopping through people's doorsteps. So it is my debt buster. I'm going to show people how to cut the cost of existing credit card debt, loan debt, overdrafts. If you've got an overdraft, buy now, pay later. And I'm also going to have some debt counsellors in the studio with me so that people who've got much more serious debt crisis type help, which I don't normally cover, whether it's should you get an IVA or go bankrupt or on a debt management plan or you just can't cope with what's going on with your debts. That is tonight's show. So please do watch 8 o'clock on ITV. And also, if you know someone who's got debt of any variety and is struggling with it, spread the word. Tell them to watch. This is the big one, Debt Buster, tonight at 8 o'clock.
Thanks, Martin. Well, I actually do know someone who's got problems with debt, sadly. Sharon here. She said, I was left in debt after separating from my ex-husband. Whilst I'm aware this is classed as a joint debt, as we are married, he's refusing to pay the mortgage. I've spoken to the lenders, but they're being unhelpful as we've defaulted previously. They want me to reduce my car payments, which I am not paying for. I am in negative equity with the car and now in arrears. My credit score has always been high, but since this, it is decreasing rapidly. Can I tackle the creditors?
Well, it's very, very difficult to tackle the creditors by yourself, and I wouldn't do it. Because if you go to a non-profit debt counselling agency, National Debt Line, Step Change, Citizens Advice Bureau, Christians Against Poverty, any of them, they have power to negotiate and talk to creditors that individuals don't. The biggest one being the breathing space scheme, which I was part of the campaign for, which means that they can levy an automatic 60-day freeze on contact and freeze on you needing to get in touch with the creditors and just stop everything while you sort things out, while they work out what's going on with you. And when one of those agencies gets in touch with the people that you owe money, they listen much more. They have far more power than an individual. So I think it will be very difficult for you to try and negotiate terms yourself with the various different groups that you owe money to. Also, you've got to look at the situation with your partner because it's joint and what's going to be going on there. I would very strongly push you, make an appointment ASAP. National Debt Line, Citizens Advice Bureau, Step Change. Make an appointment with one of them. Go through it, one-on-one help on your debts. You don't pay anything. They're not there to judge you. They are there to help you. And those debt counselling agencies will have much more oomph when it talks to coming to talk to creditors than you do by yourself.
OK.
Excellent.
Great advice. It's so painful, that, because emotionally it's so distressing, and then to add on the layer of the debt and the financial debt as well, it just makes it all the more awful. Right, Martin, how about this one from June? She's asking how she can compare the best energy deals. Slightly different, though. She has solar power panels on the roof, but without battery storage. How do I find a good deal on gas, electricity, solar power? Is there a comparison site that checks the best offers on all three? I can't find comparison sites that give payback rates for solar power.
So if you got solar panels after March 2019, you're on the solar export guarantee. If you're on beforehand, you're on the feed-in tariff, which gives you a guaranteed rate. So this doesn't apply to you. And these days, there's a competitive market, somewhat anyway, with the rate that you get paid for generating electricity on the solar export guarantee. Now, the first thing to say is gas and electricity is one thing, solar power, what you're paid, is another. You can have your gas and electricity with one supplier, or you could in fact have it with two suppliers, and your solar elsewhere. So the two don't need to be linked. And you're quite right, there are comparison sites for gas and electricity. I would be urging everybody right now, anyone who's not dealt with their energy in the last 6 months, if you're on the price cap, which most of you are, get off the pants cap, go and do a whole of market by default energy comparison to find the best tariff. Fixes are a lot cheaper than the price cap right now, and you're locking in and you can avoid what's very likely to happen in April, which is 3 to 5% price rises. But specifically on the solar export guarantee, so there are a range of different companies. There are lists online of the price that they pay, and they fall into three categories. The first one, the biggest rates, you get only if that firm fits your solar panels. Well, you've already got your solar panels, so we'll cross those off. The second lot comes if you get electricity from that firm. And the rate there, the best rate you can get at the moment is around 16 pence per kilowatt hour. And then you've got those that don't require you to have electricity with them, which is around 12 pence per kilowatt hour. So this is where it gets complicated. So you're getting about a 25% boost if you get electricity supply from the same from the company who's going to do your solar panels. So really the question is, how much are your solar panels generating? If that 25% boost is 25 quid a year and you can save 150 quid by going for a cheaper electricity supplier, keep them separate. If you're generating a lot from your solar panels, then you probably want to wrap them together and get the cheapest tariff that joins them both. It is about, you're going to have to do the maths yourself at the moment. I don't think anyone's provided a comparison. Though in the back of my head, I'm thinking I should probably work one out and get one done. So maybe give me 6 months or so. And I'll talk to my team this week. So at the moment, I would do an energy comparison, then I'd go and find the cheapest solar export guarantee rates, and it all depends on how much your solar export guarantee is. It's not a simple sum, no. It's a bit of maths. You'll have to work it out, I'm afraid.
It's a bit complicated. Or give Martin 6 months and he'll
get off
sort
the pants cap.
Yeah.
This next one is Janet. She says, I need some help urgently regarding my pension. I am on ill health retirement and I need to sign paperwork for my pension, but I am on PIP and universal credit. Is it classed as an income or can I leave it where it is? I will be 67 in 5 years' time.
So was that she needs to find paperwork or she needs to sign paperwork?
She needs to sign paperwork.
Oh, I mean, I don't know when you say pension, whether you're talking private pension or state pension. You'll forgive me, the answer to this is call the pension firm, right? And ask them. Right, I don't mean this to sound bad in any way. You would be amazed how many questions I get like that on loads of different areas. What does this count as? I'm applying for this. Should I count this as X or Y? And the answer is, speak to them and ask them. Just ask them. It's a simple question. And you need to tell them the truth when you're doing this anyway. So ask them what counts as what and what I should do. Call them up.
Yeah.
Or go on their online chat and just ask them.
Simple on that one,
The answer depends on what they want to know and why they're doing it.
OK.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get one more in for you, Martin. This is from Becky. She wants to reduce her credit card debt. She's been in debt with credit cards for 26 years. She's got 2 children who are non-verbal. They have lots of needs. We pay privately for therapy, such as speech therapy, chiropractor and equine therapy. I have around £10,000 on 3 credit cards. I pay a little more than the minimum payment on 1 or 2. We own our home, but it's in my partner's name and my wage barely lasts 2 weeks. What are my options? Does she have some?
Well, I mean, there is clearly a deficit of income going on, which is a problem for many people and very tough to solve. One thing I did pick up in the middle of the question, she says she barely pays more than the minimum payments on 1 or 2. Well, if you're paying more than the minimum on 2, you're doing it wrong. When you have a range of credit card debt, or all debts, you should list them all in the interest rate order from highest to lowest. You should pay the minimums on everything but the one that is the highest interest rate. And any spare cash you have should go towards clearing the highest interest rate, not the biggest debt, the highest interest rate, because that's the one growing quickest. And once that's gone, move to the second highest interest rates. You should, of course, make sure all the interest rates are as low as possible. And you say you haven't got much time. Watch my show at 8 o'clock tonight. It is the Debt Buster. I'll be doing an hour on how to do that step by step. So please watch that. You clearly need to do a budget. You clearly need to do a money makeover. Nobody gets in debt because they want to be in debt. They get in debt because of other expenditure. So you need to systematically go through every single thing that you're spending money on and ask. And it'll take time and it's a hassle and it's a stress. Can I do it cheaper? Can I do it better? There's great information out on the internet. I'm sure you'll be able to find it where you can do that step by step and do a money makeover. It's about combining all of that. But for the debts themselves, 8 o'clock tonight, I promise I'm going through all of that stuff. But just think about who you pay first is important too. Get rid of the one that's costing you the most, and that's the one with the highest APR. So focus all spare cash towards clearing that.
Martin, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Becky, definitely watch Martin's shows tonight at 8 o'clock. Anybody that needs some help with their debt, because it sounds like it's going to be a really important show to watch. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Martin. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.